We talk about living this life on your terms, fulfilling your business dreams, moving abroad, founding your own companies, and the daily struggle this brings with it. But also why it's all worth it, and why this life is going to be your dream life. Welcome to Maria Unleashed. Enjoy the episode. Hi guys, Maria here. Great to have you back. Today I want to talk about having a bad day and how to still manage to get through it, especially when you are self-employed. You know, the industry is small, and when people book you or, buy your service, they rely on you. And if you can't deliver, and if you cannot deliver more than once, then that is very, very bad for your reputation. So you obviously always want to make sure to live up to your full potential. Of course, right? But everyone has a bad day now and then, because even though you love your job, even though you have great clients or customers, it happens, life happens. And so I've learned that actually pretty early on in one of my first jobs after school. I realized like all the stuff that happened during school, and no, it doesn't matter how annoyed I was, or when someone pisses me off or what, I cannot bring that into work. I cannot take it out on my customers, because they are here to have a good time, and I am there, to really make sure, like whether I was the hostess or the waitress, or it doesn't matter. That is what I was paid for. And if I do show up there, well, I give it my all, and I don't take my bad day out on them, because it's not their fault. So, and that obviously, for me, it's been a very long practice. So I know that, and for me, that is my standard. So that's my quality I want to keep. But it is hard sometimes. And right now at the moment, so I'm struggling with like finding a permanent place to live. It sounds crazy, but for some reason I'm only getting 6-month contracts. So right now in Spain, that's just what it is. And now even funnier or sadder, depends. You also have to be a teacher that teaches in the school. And if you don't teach in the local school, you can't even get the 6-month contract and stuff like that. And it really makes you like, what is going on, you guys? Okay, right. So that happens. Very stressful, but still, I have to show up for my job. I still want to deliver the best possible quality for my clients and my customers. So what do I do? And yesterday I had one of those days where I was like, oh my gosh, I was so tired. My body was it was just aching. So right now it's summer here in Spain. So we've been having 3 months of like high season, like tourists en masse, and we live in a somewhat Airbnb house, and it's literally like party nonstop every day. So for the past 3 months, I slept average 3 hours a night, and no one gives a shit. And that also makes you kind of like, what's going on in the world? But yeah, that's what it is. Like over here, and I feel very sorry for the people who live here permanently. Also that's maybe good that my contract, only runs for like 6 months. So I also get to rethink, hey, do I want to stay? Do I want to move on? And stuff like that. So I'm just saying, just a little glimpse into what's happening with me, even though everything else is great. So there are always a few little things that are acting up. And you are like, why? Or at least for me, that's what it is. So even though I'm so tired, my body is literally, help, I still have to deliver. Because obviously, if you are self-employed, if you don't show up, if you don't work, you don't get paid. If you don't get paid, you can't pay the rent, you can't buy food. Everything like the minimal, the basic stuff a human being needs to be safe is suddenly gone. So, and that can be very scary. So for me, it has always been part of my journey, and I'm very aware that it happens. It can, that can happen to rich people as well. It's just that the fall is, higher basically, but it can happen to each and every one of us, even with your 9-to-5 job. That can happen. Suddenly, you are fired or whatnot, or the job doesn't exist anymore, and now you are standing there, out left alone in the rain, and you have to figure it out. So for me, again, it is very nerve-wracking, absolutely. But yeah, I've been dealing with it for so long now, and I just kind of found a way to really manage it. So, and yesterday I realized how far I've come, because just a few years ago, even 5, 6 years ago, I would have just gone, no matter what. So my body gives me a clear sign of, hey, I need a break. I can't go any further right now. Give me a break. And tomorrow I'm back and, up and running again. And back in the days, I would have said, no, fuck it. You have to, we have to. I have to get up. I have to do it now. I have to deliver. So, and now I really look at the bigger picture. So yesterday was I didn't have any one-on-one. I didn't have any live calls or nothing like that. So yesterday was really just an organizational day, like getting all my stuff ready, the tax and everything like that. So it's still important, but it wasn't like I didn't have to really show up and, be on the telephone. So yesterday was definitely, okay, it can be moved. Yes, it's annoying. I know I do have a few deadlines and I will still meet them. So for me, I always incorporate a little bit of buffer time as well for exactly that, because again, life happens. So that's what you learn along the way. So, and yesterday I also realized I'm going to give myself this break. I'm going to give myself permission to just say and give in, to listen to my body and say, you know what, no, you need rest. I'm going to rest. My head and also my body. And just again, a few years ago, I would have just gone with it. And the problem here is well done. Problem here is I grew up believing that I have to deliver every day. For me, doing nothing was always a bad thing, but that is what my environment taught me. So just sitting and doing nothing was always considered a bad thing. So then I would have to listen to stuff like, well, it's your own fault if you don't become XYZ person in your life, or then it's your fault. Then you must never complain about not having enough money. It's your fault because you're lazy and stuff like that. And that still sits very deep. And in a lot of different areas in my life, I've never really listened, but that for some reason stuck. And I'm still trying to unplug it. So it is out a little bit, but a few, lines are still attached. And sometimes it comes up and it's ridiculous how these old belief systems are really clinging on to us. And again, I'm doing so great. And I have, like in the first place, like even as a kid, I refused to plug myself into these belief systems. But for some reason, this is one that really stuck. And still, the doubts are coming, they creep in. So now when I don't work, when I don't give 100%, that feeling comes and it says, you have to feel bad now. You don't deserve to be successful because you are having a day of rest. And yeah, just realizing how far I've come to really say, no, that's not true. So instead of seeing this, I haven't, that is exactly how I was brought up. So it was always, I have to earn my rest. Have I worked enough to earn myself a little bit of rest? And when you are in a 9 to 5, maybe that works out for you. Maybe you can do it because you have like some sort of safety net, or, you can always pull a sickie and say, whatever, fuck it. You're still going to get paid. You still have your contract. You still can go to a bank and get a loan, So for you, it doesn't really do much. But if you are self-employed, you don't have that. So you always have to make sure to really keep yourself healthy, because if you can't show up, no one is going to earn that money for you, and no one is waiting for you. And trust me, I have been there. I also believed, that's also one of the belief systems, the way I was brought up. Hey, you have to, if you always work hard, it will always work out, So just work hard and everything's going to be fine. And what a nice belief that is. Honestly, I wish it was true, because I really like that. I could live in that world because I know I would be so successful. And it's always like I'm not the victim. It's not happening to me, but I am actually the main character in my own show. And if I decide, to work and step up the game, then life will present itself, with this beauty and successful life, beautiful and successful life. Unfortunately, that's also not what it is. So yeah, but we're going to talk about all these belief systems because I have a list. I actually made a list of what's actually happening, and I talk to so many people all the time from all over the world, and it's crazy, but it's literally always the same. Like sometimes it's a different saying, but it always comes down to the same crazy belief systems. And it's like, what's going on? Now, if you are self-employed, you have to make sure to take care of you. And that is where you should always also listen to you and maybe other self-employed people, because I used to listen to just employees, because I didn't know anyone who was doing what I was doing. So, and these people, uninvited, came to me and told me their opinion. And it was always like, yeah, excuse me, but you have a complete different life. It's good for you that you do that and it works out for you, but I really have to take care of myself. And still they try to make me feel bad. And it, again, sometimes it really also made me then later think and rethink, shit, is it maybe me? Maybe I haven't worked enough. Oh yeah, maybe I keep going. And then what happened was that my body broke down. I was completely I was mid-20s and I couldn't walk anymore. And guess what? No one waited for me. No jobs or clients said, hey, take your time. You know what? Actually, we're going to schedule you for a quiet or whatever. Or here is some money just to get you back, up and start it again. No one does that. And no one takes care of you and no one comes to rescue you. And that is just a cold fact. And to realize that it was hectic. And I felt so betrayed. Excuse me? Again, I like this idea and I understand why also my parents, or the family said that. And, they wanted to make sure hey, if you work hard, you can do it. And it's a cute little thing, I like it. But it's just not like it out there in the reality these days. So yeah, of course, always try your best. But then also, if it is not working, maybe your body is trying to tell you something. And they kind of missed that bit. So they really missed to tell me that bit, about the, hey, maybe, also tune into your body, what's going on. So, and yeah, so that happened where I just had to, I myself really went through the entire process of what it's like to lose the ability to walk and be in pain all the time. And to literally experience what it was like to then being unable to work and how the work just, it continues. It just goes on to the next person and books someone else. And that's that. And also that's when I realized, okay, so I'm definitely going to look into a passive income a little bit more. And I really have to take better care of myself because as of now, I know no one else is going to do it for me. I am in charge. It is my responsibility. And I don't care anymore what other people tell me and how lazy I am, which is not true at all. But, that's what they are for some reason trying to make you believe. So, and that was a big lesson, but unfortunately it doesn't happen from today to tomorrow and tomorrow I wake up, ding! No, sadly not. So it was a process. And this process for me has been going on for almost 7 years. And I really do now, as in yesterday, I was like, damn, I came such a long way. A few years ago, I would have just kept going. And now I'm literally able to say, no, I'm listening. I hear you. Thank you, my body, for letting me know. And I'm just gonna chill the fuck out. So, and today I woke up, I'm already stronger, but I'm still feeling, okay, maybe the tax and the numbers is not happening today. And here's why. And that's also where I really had to learn. I had to go through this process of learning the hard way. So when I really pushed myself through, these days where I was exhausted beyond anything, and I would still try to do my job, but it's really more like trying because when you are so tired and you cannot focus anymore, stuff like dealing with numbers, budgeting, doing the tax or translating or grammar, even in German, grammar in general, it's just it kind of gets all fuzzy and blurry in front of my eyes. And for me, it's always, I want to get shit done. So I'm very disciplined and I sit my ass down and I only get up when I'm done. Okay, it's a good one, but it's also a bad one if it's a very complex topic. Sometimes it just takes time. So I used to be also very impatient. I've worked on that as well, but again, so it's not all good or bad, it's both. It can be a very positive trait to have, but it can also to an extreme, it can cause very negative side effects as well. And just for me, it was very good to be aware and to observe myself and to kind of noticing my pattern, so I really know when to step in and say, okay, stop right here, because now you're shooting way too far already. So yeah, for me it's very important when that happens to really just stop, because otherwise I'm going to make so many mistakes, and some of these mistakes, they cost me literally Just for one, there was a translation where I translated my website for the first time. Yep, I had to do it twice, or even I don't even know, but definitely double, because I was so gone by that point. I was like, okay, I can do it, and then I will go to bed. Like, but let me finish my website. I can translate everything tonight. And the crap I wrote and the grammar was horrendous. So, redoing everything, and then also the German part as well, and just redoing everything and over again, because I kept doing this. I was stuck in my cycle because still I couldn't see it myself. I was so in the fog. I just couldn't see, and I was just hectically, trying to run away not away, but around like headless chicken. Like, I can do it. I can do everything. And in the end, I made everything worse. And that cost me like 200 hours. Just redoing everything I've just messed up by believing I can still push through. Or again, if you make that mistake with like a budgeting error, I mean, that's just, it can cost you so much, really, time, money, nerve, and sleep. So yeah, no, I have so many of these stories where really, like, now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, how did I even do it? I don't know. I mean, you have to be a little bit psychotic as well to do that. But yeah, I always believed like I have to push through. And if I don't, I'm lazy and I do not deserve to be successful. How sad is that? So, and it's so not true. Yeah, I'm doing it differently now. And yeah, I'm so proud. Damn, yeah, I stepped up the game. So now here are a few tools I really do. But it doesn't really matter. Even if I don't have like some of the stuff, I do like baseline. It doesn't really matter what day it is, just to get the focus in. But I definitely check in with myself. Okay, do I have to actually show up? Is it really important? Can I cancel it? What are the consequences of me not showing up? Is there an entire team involved that suddenly can't work, can't be paid? Well, then I will figure it out. I will just find a way to still show up tomorrow, do the best job I can do, and then give myself rest. So it is important that if you do that, show up. If you, again, for me, it's also very important. Like, I hate to let people down. And that's why I really kind of have to see, hey, is that something I can reschedule, or is that tomorrow really important? So first of all, I'm going to look at that part. If I do decide, no, man, I have to show up, it's too last minute. And if I don't show, then everyone can't work, everyone doesn't get paid. So, I get it together. I, do my best I just try to calm down, meditate, get as much sleep in as I can, and try to really like, hey, relax, it's going to be okay. And I make myself the promise, once the job is done, I will rest. And I really, that for me was also important to learn. I have to stick to my promise. That is a promise, like I give the promise to my team. Just because it's a promise to myself, it's just equally a promise, and it's important to really, own it. So, if I do show the next day, I make sure that I can take like a couple of days and just like rest and calm down. If I decide, no, I can, like yesterday, where I was like, nah, that's not too important right now, let's face it. I know we always make this big balloon out of it and blow it up and make this a huge thing. But in the end, I mean, is it really that important? And as I said, I like to build little buffers into my schedule. So, I do have a few days where I know stuff happens, and then I can still work calmly, with a clear head, because I know I have enough time, to fix the errors before I have the deadline. I also I make sure that I don't get distracted. So I don't have music on, I don't have the radio, the TV or whatnot, no podcast, no nothing. I switch off my phone either completely, or if I do have to leave it on for some reason, I am going to, or I always, that is like again what I said, default for me, I always stop every notification. So I've realized I can work better, more focused when I create little, let's say 3 times a day, I check my emails. And then I only do that. I only check emails, I get back to emails, I close my emails, and then I will be back in 6 hours. Or maybe not, it depends. Like if I have the time, I try at least twice a day, and if not, not. I mean, again, that's just what it is. Otherwise, I just put in a little notification, these answering automated stuff. Hey, I can get back to you in 2 days. Ciao. Stuff like that. So, and that with everything. So the WhatsApp, the Insta, everything, I have no notification on whatsoever. And I only do it, let's say, I have little dates, like meetings. So like you have a meeting with the art department, I don't know, I schedule a meeting for my emails, and then I show up 100%, and then I close it, and then I show up for the next, and then at some point I'm going to close everything, every electronic device is gone, and I would just focus on whatever it is I really have to do and where I need my focus on. And that's that. In between, I like to take, that's also a new thing, and I realized that helped a lot as well. So I like to take breaks. Let's say once I'm done with the email and social media stuff, I close everything, switch it off, put it away. I like to get up, and then, by then I've been sitting for so long, so I do a few stretches and I move slightly around, or I go sometimes, even if it's not, depends where I am. If it's like noon and it's hot and in summer, then no, I'm not going to leave the house because that's just terrible and it's way too hot. No, but I just see what happens. If I can walk around a little bit, just around the block, if it's just 5 minutes, I do so. If not, I just do a little quick, like 5-10 minutes of calming myself, doing like breathing exercise or stretching. Again, I do that. I have my yoga mat next to my little workplace, so I always stretch out a little. I give myself a break just to also like have a physical break and also an end to the previous job I've just done, so so to speak. So to really give myself a clear cut here, and now again I can start with a clear head with, I don't know, whatever it is I'm doing. So, and I always do that between like very different, like let's say doing the numbers and being creative on social media. So that I usually always break up into 2 parts and I have a clear separation between it. It just helps me. It just helps me to really like, okay, let's close this chapter. And now I breathe, and now I calm down a little bit, make myself a tea, a little coffee, calm down, and now I'm ready to start with the creative process. So again, that's just how I like to do it. I really do see a lot of just the difference in my work quality, and also my mental state is huge. And yeah, pretty much, that's how I do it. I also set a date, like an alarm, because I usually have trouble to stop working. And if you're self-employed, you probably know that there's always stuff to do. You always have so much to do, and you could work 24 hours every day and you would still have stuff to do. So there are never-ending lists of what you should be doing right now and what you must and what you want next. So yeah, I definitely, because I know that, and I know it really helps me to set an alarm and to say, call it a day. Thank you very much. I will see you again tomorrow, just to myself. So that really helps me. Also, to separate the rooms. So right now, or very often, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury to have separate rooms for work and pleasure. So yeah, that's definitely something I will incorporate into my future. It's not that I don't want to, I want to, and that's why I'm really struggling to find a nice home for the long term. Yeah, because at the moment, like whatever is on the market is just the crappiest stuff ever. It's like, what is going on, you guys? Like a shoebox. It's like back being in London and an intern. Really, it's bad, and it costs more. So that's where I'm like, oh, okay. So we downgraded the quality, but we upgraded the price by 10. Well, that makes no sense, you guys. So yeah, but again, you don't always have the luxury. I know I usually never have it, but if I do, I appreciate it even more. And that is my goal also. I just like to, see the bigger picture. I see everything every day where it's a bit annoying and where I'm like, oh man, but I want to have my own place and I want to have a nice and cozy place. And I see it as a little practice every day also to kind of, have to suck it up. You have to learn to live with it and without breaking, in sweat every time and in tears, and like to really like my head is sometimes exploding just by being so mad in my head. Like, why is that happening to me? Why, and I hate that. And it's such unnecessary, like energy burst, but not in a good way. So I'm like, okay, how can I learn? I see it as a little challenge, and I like my challenges, and I just like to really measure my growth, so to speak. So I'm like, I do that just for me, and it's just more or less a game. But I can really, it helps me sleep at night to see it that way, really. It's not, I don't know if it is a thing or not, but it really helps me to sleep at night where I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to do that for me. I want to be able to, even in bad conditions, because they happen, be happy, be grateful, and still deliver the best possible job you can do. And on some days it goes better, and on some days it's just a shitty day. What can I say? And I forgive myself. I just rest, calm down, go to the beach, have a good, like really enjoy yourself without feeling bad. So, no, you totally enjoy. And that will be the last part that is important. Once you've done that and once you've noticed you stepped up the game, so if you are like me, like, hey, I've also become so much better now, hey, reward yourself. And if it's the teeny tiniest little level, so for me it's always a beach makes me happy. So I will always go there, and just, again, I leave everything at home. I literally just grab my towel and that's it. And no cell phone, no nothing, no distraction, just be. That's my reward, it's my luxury. Or walk in a forest, also love it. I love trail running, so just taking time to do that, and to then come home, take a shower, and I don't know, crack a bottle of bubbles. It's like, hell yeah. So that is my, like, hey, well done, very good job. And it is important, because you have no boss who tells you you are awesome. You have no teammates who say, damn, you did such a great job, oh, I love it, thanks so much, you inspired me, to give it 1,000%. You don't have that. So you have to be your own cheerleader. Be your own cheerleader. Or call your friend the great cheerleader. So I have actually a lot of friends, because I'm the born cheerleader. And they always, when they have a, like, oh, I have this great news and no one gets it and everyone talks me out of it. And then that's usually when they come to me and I'm like, are you kidding me? You go, you are awesome. And then they come back like, oh, I'm going to always listen to it now when I'm sad. I'm like, yeah, you do that. Yeah, because what is that? I don't know. So we all have it. It's not just you. We all have it. We all have to deal with it, and everyone deals with it in a different way. So that's what I'm saying. If you just want to have like a wellness treat day in your bathroom, you do that. Whatever it is, reward yourself, be proud of yourself, and say, thanks, for getting me through this day. And I still, even though it wasn't 100% day today, I still did so well. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to get up tomorrow. Yay. So yeah, that is it. That's how I usually get through a bad day. And just try not to be mad at your partner, friends, family and stuff, and yourself. Really forgive yourself for not being there 100%. It is okay. And tomorrow you're going to get up and, it's probably 100% and a sunny day again, and you just kick ass. So, all right, beautiful people. With this in mind, I'm wishing you just beautiful days and very successful days. And yeah, again, cheers to us. All right, I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.